Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to God's Worker Podcast. I am your host, Karma Doll. How are y'all doing? Okay. If this is your first time here, welcome in. And if you are returning, what is up? Because at this point, we are family, okay? No, but I am so glad you are back. Thank y'all so much for the support you are doing to the channel. I do appreciate it. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Listen, let's get into it, okay? Y'all know we be doing audio, but today I wanted to come with the visuals because I want us to be here, okay? I know y'all be hearing me, but I really, really want us to be here, okay? We are really getting in a season to where things are about to elevate really quickly, okay? Your head is about to swim. So I'm going to make sure that we are all prepared for what it is that God has for us. Can I get an amen? Okay, so today's title is Don't Pour from an Empty Cup. Okay? Don't pour from an empty cup. If only I had known this when my cup was empty. I don't know. I don't know. But glad I went through it. So that way I can drop the gems for you, okay? Rounds of applause for me getting out of it. Okay, because now I am here to give you the real tea. Okay, the tea on life. Something we need right now. People are not dropping the tea on life. They're giving y'all all the drama. Y'all know everything about everyone, but nothing on how to better yourselves. Okay, one time to the folks who are bettering themselves, not waiting on the new year. Get into it now. So, don't pour from an empty cup. I have some key points as to why this is a very serious thing, okay? Because I once lived that life and I became empty. And even when I was empty, I was still trying to pour from an empty cup. One thing you will realize is just how much people care about your situation. Now, to anyone who has ever been in this type of situation, I know you're like, dang, I wish I'd seen this video before. I know you can relate to what I'm saying. But to not pour from an empty cup, you want to first realize what is it that's draining you? What is it that's taken from you? Okay? Disconnect yourselves from relationships that are only taking. They're not pouring anything into you. They're only taking every phone call. Hey, I need, can you, no, okay? You need some, can I help you? You need anything? How was your day? Are you okay? You need more of things that are going to not just take, but also give, okay? Especially coming from a person who loves to give, you can get so wrapped up into that and not even realize that the people around you are starting to manipulate you, use you, and take everything from you. Literally up until the point where you have not a thing left, not even for yourself, not even the energy to get out of the bed because you're depressed. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about myself because that's where I was. I had no energy or motivation to get out of the bed. If it was not for my son, if it was not for my son, I don't know where I would be. Okay. And I thank God that He blessed me with that seed at that time because He knew what I needed in the moment in the future. Because I didn't know I would be depressed just 2 years later. I didn't realize that. But I was. And I was a dead battery that couldn't charge anything. And I had a child. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine not even having the motivation to help yourself and you have this responsibility to help someone else? Life. Life. And that's why you can't pour from an empty cup. And to make sure you're not pouring from an empty cup, you got to figure out what is draining you, my dear. If it's not adding something, more than likely it's subtracting. Okay? Remember that. Now, one thing you may not even realize when you start pouring from an empty cup is you start operating from a spirit of lack because you're not full. Because you're so drained, you start seeing things differently. Instead of seeing the day as, oh, I woke up today and it's a new day, you see it as another day here on earth to go through hell. Babe, every day that you wake up, you have the power to make things be seen in another eye. Meaning, you can see it as a blessing that it is that you have breath in your body and God put your name on the wake up list, or you can see your situation and stay stuck in it. That's operating out of a spirit of lack, okay? Because even when I didn't have anything, I had to get to a point where I call it delusion, where I'm like, you know what? There is more. There has to be. There has to be more out here with my name on it. Once I started operating in that spirit, things start happening. I'm gonna come back and tell y'all the testimony on how I got an apartment with no money. Okay, that was what 3-4 years ago. Craziness, but God, He's an awesome one. Now, since I brought up that apartment with no money, because this is around that time where I had to get out of pouring from an empty cup, and one thing I realized was I had to change my environment. Okay, your environment can be draining you. Your everyday life can be something that is draining. Change your environment and stop trying to equate it to money. Okay, changing your environment. The library is free. Okay, you can walk around the mall for free. That's changing your environment. You don't even realize the seeds that you start planting once you change your environment. Once you realize how powerful your mind is and the seeds that you can plant with just your mind, I'm not even talking about your words, I'm talking about your thoughts. The seeds that you can plant with just your thoughts, they call it manifestation, okay? Don't play with the Lord. The things He can do with just your thoughts, you guys. This is why we have to pray. We have to stay in the spirit because it's so strong and it happens in the spirit before the physical. And I'm trying to tell somebody who's a generational curse breaker. Okay, lock in. It's time, lock in. Now, once you realize that you need to change your environment and not just your physical environment, I'm also talking about the things that you're connected to. Okay, the people that you're connected to, the conversations you're connected to, the circumstances that you're connected to. A lot of times, once I sat back and realized a lot of the drama I was in was not even my own, I was like, yeah, okay, it's time to do some control alt delete. Okay, something ain't right. The math ain't mathing, okay? You want to get yourself around some seed planters, okay? Not the people who are going to come in your garden and tear it all up, poison everything. That's not what you want. You want to be around some people who are going to plant seeds in your garden and be able to watch things grow. Once you start connecting yourself to God ordained relationships, I'm telling you, the fruit that you will bear, okay, it will make your head spin. I want you to lock in, okay? I'm trying to, the ones who have ears to hear will hear me, okay? Know that. Now, next, we want to also make sure we're not operating out of fear, okay? I was afraid to do this, know this, and I had to lock in with God. I told you on my last podcast that I had to take a break and I had to recharge because I needed to operate in a spirit of overflow, which is why I'm here to pour into you because I know how hard life can get, okay? I know that dark place that can become your life. So I'm dropping these gems now to either help you out of a situation or to prevent you from falling into one. Okay, somebody? Once you're operating out of fear, you will realize, especially once you lock in with God, that you do not have the full armor of God because the spirit of fear is not of God. Okay, you won't be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. The Lord created this earth just for you. So what are you scared of? I'm just saying, once you get the full armor of God, honey, you will be ready to charge hell, okay, with a water pistol. I'm telling you, don't operate out of a spirit of fear, okay? It's not of God, and it's not for you. Confusion, being unsure of yourself, these are all things that are tied to a spirit of lack, okay? And again, pouring from that empty cup, your cup even being empty, is showing that there are things around you in your situation that are taken from you and that does not need to be there. It's vermin in the building with us, okay? Things that do not need to be connected to the children of God, not in God's kingdom, not on God's watch. And to wrap up this video, you guys, my last key point is being spiritually bound. Operating out of a spirit of lack and pouring from an empty cup will allow the enemy to come in and confuse you, will allow the enemy to come in and to try and plant seeds in your garden, okay? We cannot water those things. We cannot water those thoughts that we know are not of God. You know God didn't say you are not worthy. You are not worth anything. I hate you. No, those are not the words of God. Even when we do not deserve it, God still shows us grace and mercy and love. Come on now. Do not allow the enemy to confuse you and have you to think any negative thoughts, especially about yourself. God will that's not of God, okay? It's not the spirit that dwells within you. It is the enemy out to try to trick you, to confuse you, to do what he is best at doing, manipulating, okay? Do not pour from an empty cup because this allows the enemy to come in and to start wreaking havoc in your life, okay? These are not things we want to do because we want to operate out of a spirit of peace, a spirit of confirmation. I know I'm supposed to be here today to deliver this word. If only you knew how many times my phone told me I don't have storage, which is why I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I love you so much. Jesus loves you more, and I'm praying over your situation, okay? Touch and agree. Comment down below and let me know if this word has helped you in any kind of way. Even if it's not today, come back and let me know your testimony. I love to hear it, okay? I love the Lord so much, and I love you, okay? Again, this is God's Work, the podcast. I am your host, Carmadol, and I will see you next time. Bye.